technology today, we are like pretty close to becoming superhumans. Now, I know that a lot of these advances actually stem from helping people with disabilities overcome their disabilities. Like that boy that 3D printed the bionic arm, which Robert Downey Jr. was endorsing. How cool is that? Only $300 and you can get that arm. But if there's really one thing that I want them to invent, it has to be, for me, teletransportation. Like, seriously, can we just not all be like, beam me up, Scotty, and then we're there wherever it is that we need to be? If there's that one thing that you want technology to come up with really soon, why don't you share your thoughts with me? There's my Facebook, there's Twitter as well. I would love to hear from you. And you can check out my Instagram also while you're at it. So here it is, those amazing breakthroughs that are happening in technology that are getting us this close to being superhuman. The world's first officially recognized cyborg is this guy who is known as Neil Harbisson. Now, Neil was born with color blindness, and he collaborated with another scientist, and what they did is come out with this antenna that gets attached to the back of Neil's head, and it's this little chip that is connected, and there's an antenna, and he's basically invented a cybernetic eye. And what this eye does is that it transforms color frequencies into sound frequencies, and so he started perceiving color through sound. So if he's feeling really happy, he's basically listening to like a A major, and if he's feeling really sad, then he's listening to like a B minor, and so he knows the colors that are associated with those sound frequencies. This is actually what Neil looks like, and the reason I say he's like the first official cyborg is because they allowed him to pose in his passport photograph with the cybernetic eye, because he kind of believes that the eye is, you know, not a device that is plugged to his head, but it's now a part of his entire being, his body. And he's even taken it one step further. He even gets an internet connection now onto this antenna, so he can make and receive phone calls. He's like this awesome walking, talking, color mobile machine. So the scientists at EPFL have been funded by DARPA, and what they have come out with is superhero vision contact lenses. These contact lenses are amazing. They allow you to zoom in, and any object can be magnified up to 2.8 times. And the lenses are so clever, they actually know the difference between a wink and a blink. So the wink is what you need to do if you want to zoom in on something. The wink from the right eye and a wink from the left eye will allow it to become normal again. I'm telling you, we are just getting closer and closer to being as cool as our favorite superheroes. We are literally like 2 to 3 years away from being Jean Grey from the X-Men. Seriously, check this out. A 55-year-old quadriplegic woman who was undergoing tests at this DARPA center. These guys at DARPA, they seem to be doing some pretty crazy stuff. And she was actually able to fly an F-35 jet simulator by using only the signals in her brain. How cool is that? If they approve this kind of technology and they release this kind of technology, it would just be great, right? Because you're like sitting on the table and you're like, dude, pass me the sword. Actually, no, you know what? I'll just do it with my brain. While governments today are so involved in, you know, funding projects that would help us become superhumans, there's also a couple of everyday objects that have their origins with government funding. Like, who would have thought? Kotex sanitary napkins. These actually originated from the medical gauze that was used by the nurses during World War I. And these nurses were like looking at this medical gauze that was used to stop the blood flow in like a soldier's injury, and they were like, wait a minute, this could also be used for another kind of like blood flow. And that's how Kotex came out with its sanitary napkins, and Kimberly-Clark released these in the market. Who would have thought? That's it from me and that Koyal in the background, who's been fucking up my recording. Oh fuck, Koyal! So that's it from me this week with my superhuman, super awesome stories, and you continue staying superhuman and super awesome until I catch you next week. Ciao! And when you finish watching it, you're just like, no, they did not just do that. Yep, they did. What's that? Why is it there? So Oz actually trained to bark every time I say anything that begins with W. See?